Welcome back to the ICEMAN Trade Recap. Hey, my name is Alberto Perez, and I am going to show you a trade recap on 2 Tesla trades that I took today. I'm going to take you behind the scenes. I'm going to show you the plan, the execution. I'll show you the results, and we'll talk through what made me get into trades and why. You'll notice the positions that I take as well. So let's first start out with Discord. So you'll see right here, August 13th, 2026 at 5:46 a.m. before the market opens. I am sharing with everybody on my channel that Tesla is something I'm watching along with these other individual tickers. Now, let me take you into the Tesla setup so you can kind of see what I was looking for. This was the Tesla setup. I was looking for it to come into my decision zone, come down, get a bounce, and then go all the way up to about 329. Well, not only did it do that, it did more than that. So let me show you exactly the execution part. Now, I got into a 330 puts. I'm going to walk you through this in 1 second, why I took 3 contracts. This is what they cost me. And then I sold them. This is what they cost me. So I ended up taking a a 26% loss for about 156. And then I turned around and I went with the trend. I took a 335 calls. I bought 10 contracts. Here's the price on it. And then I sold 10 at this price as well. So let's walk through trade number 1. So here's trade number 1. I'm doing this live, by the way, when I am with everyone on Discord via Zoom. So everyone is listening, watching my screen. I'm commentating. I'm explaining my analysis as to why. Now, remember that earlier setup that I talked about? This was it down here. This was my S zone. So it did exactly what I wanted. The problem is I never really got an entry, so I didn't want to go chasing this and I had to wait. So what I started to see here is I started to see the market stall a little bit right here. So I got this pushed down. 332.81 is a checkpoint area that I have here. So it was hovering around this area. Now, this decision zone right here, this got created in real time because that was the area that it was stalling in. So once I got this confirmation underneath this level, I went ahead and took my position. Now, remember, I took only 3 contracts. Why did I only take 3 contracts? Well, risk management. There's no guarantee that I'm going to come back the way this trade I would have thought so. Maybe retrace back maybe 50% of the move. Okay, so if I would have taken the trade for 50% of the move from here to this point up here, I'd be sitting about 329.50. I bought the 330 puts. So I was looking potentially for that. But there was no guarantee yet that the sellers were in control. So I had to position myself small just in case this did exactly what it would end up doing. So we ended up coming back up here, and then I ended up exiting the trade right in this particular area. Now, immediately, I get into the trade to go with the trend. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, Alberto, well, that doesn't make any kind of sense. You were still inside the decision zone. Well, let me take you into a 3-chart layout so you could kind of see what this looked like, because this is what I was watching in real time with everybody, okay? This is the same candle that's right here, all right? This is the same exact one. Look at the body on this 15-minute candle right here. Pretty strong, huh? So you had already built a higher low with a nice body. This is the next liquidity pocket it was chasing. So what I did was I got into the trade here, and I got into the trade 335 calls. That was going to give me about a 1-to-2 risk to reward, which is ideally what I like to have, a 1-to-2 risk to reward. In other words, I'm going to put $100 on the trade to make potentially 200, right? So the move goes and it does exactly that. Now, I didn't cash out here. I didn't scale out here, mostly because I was still looking to go into this zone. That was a liquidity pocket. So it pushed up, it came back, it pushed up, it came back. It would go back all the way into this point. Again, never closed below my level. So I held on to the trade. Now, look at what happens, because I'm going to take you to one more time frame. Remember I showed you the 15-minute time frame? Well, one of the things you always want to learn how to do is you want to learn how to trade and adjust on higher time frames. Well, look what I was watching. I was watching now this higher time frame. There was zero reason to exit the trade. And well, look what ends up happening. Let me take you to a bigger screen now. I exit right here on 8:30. Okay, went right into my zone. I sold into strength. I was very happy with that. And then look what ends up happening. It goes right into my next level in here. So at this point, I exit my trade. That way I could take profits. And I ended up taking a 30% trade. It was 830 in profits. I took a 26% loss over here, 156. My net gain for the day was 674. Well, look at that. It kept going. So I had a lot of volume behind it. So, one of the biggest things that I like to always emphasize in the mentorship program with a lot of my mentorship students is just understanding how zones and institutions do things in these zones and areas. And so, this is why I was confident it was going to go into this. Once it's kept defending the 332.81, then it was just a matter of time before it took off. Well, not only did it take off from here, it actually blew all the way up here. So, it would have been an even greater trade. But hey, I was very happy. I hit my target and some, and I was good with that. So if you want to see more trade recaps, be sure you subscribe to the channel, and I will be updating with some more recaps and explaining play by play, just like we're doing here. Take care, y'all.